Welcome, everyone, to Old World Charm hosting Sirens and Secrets. It is such a pleasure to see you guys already galvanized in chat. I am so grateful for you guys to keep up with an every other week campaign with the zeal that you guys have for the twice a week campaigns that we have on this channel, of which I'm a proud and happy DM for all. We're just starting a new campaign right to be a player every Monday, so catch up on that. We had our session 0 yesterday, where we just did some world building with the DM Josh. So I am here with my amazing cast and crew, Cutting Edge Cosplay. Check them out on every possible social you can find. Yeah, you will not be disappointed. They are a wonderful bunch, knowledgeable in all things nerdy, and they also dabble in throwing around heavy weights. And usually, sometimes I suspect in character. I don't know, though. There was a lot of rage for some. A lot of rage. But we'll go around the table and the proverbial table and introduce ourselves, who we are, social media, and then who we're playing, what we're playing, and your character's favorite flavor of ice cream. Throwing a curveball at you that I got last night that I loved. All right, so we're going to start from we'll start from right to left on the screen here in the violet lavender purple-esque background with Danny.
Hello, I'm Danny. Danny Darling on Instagram with my cosplays, and I am playing a Lokatha barbarian, and my name is Mifa, and my character's favorite ice cream. Probably would go with mint chip.
Nice. Awesome. And now to Bears.
Hello, I'm Bearsrar on the socials. My character's name is Rarger. And favorite ice cream would probably be something surprisingly fruity, like is white gummy bear. That's a Jamba Juice, huh?
I think I've had
white gummy bear.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyways,
you know what? Make it white gummy bear ice cream. It's a magical world.
That sounds really good.
The fact that your name's Bears.
Yeah, it's funny.
Perfect. All right, and Rebecca.
Hello, I am Rebecca. I'm playing Lazuli. She is a water genasi wizard. I think her favorite ice cream would be, I know there's like buttered pecan, but if there's like a buttered rum, I feel like that would be right up her alley. So I'm gonna go with like a buttered rum ice cream. If that
just
doesn't
imagining
exist,
like a
also
rum beer float. Just
yeah, why not?
No, that's totally mine.
Perfect segue.
Yeah.
Oh god.
And Bunny.
So, Thunder Bunny SFX on Instagram. I play Azrael, the Paladin Goliath. And I was originally thinking something maybe more earthy, like kind of like Spumoni or something. But if there's like a rum thing, yeah, we're definitely doing a rum float and beer. That sounds
like a butter
right.
beer.
I'm gonna try that, honestly. Like I'm gonna ruin either perfectly good rum or perfectly good ice cream. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
yeah.
Next episode we should all just come ready with rum floats.
yes.
I'm down.
Ooh, but if we're going with the float, you can do a rum float on like a Mai Tai. It's no longer ice cream, but I mean, if we're talking about floats, it's a different kind of float.
I love that you're like the expert in the
by taking out the ice cream.
Yeah, who needs the ice cream
Sponsored
part of
by
it?
Alcoholics Anonymous.
Yes.
All right, well, let's get into this. Last session, we had some pretty intense action. The party did get kind of separated, and I'm very curious to see how we can reunite. But let's see. We had a meeting with some of the criminal elements of the underworld of Farrakhan, and lo and behold, their patron, Saracen Graves, was playing a pretty good mean game of cards when a strange figure came into play, a wild card, if you will, and it was none other than his younger brother, Darius Graves, exiled for using Grimstone, a highly volatile, inhumane alchemical ingredient used to essentially chemically lobotomize the frontal lobe of people, turning them into living zombified slaves. I guess you could say in the same way the some elements of the voodoo-esque traditions of in real life pufferfish venom and or poison and things like that. Pretty gnarly stuff. Oh, thank you, Lindsay Lou. I will get to points, but right now I'm writing down one pleasure for each. That is fantastic. Which means, for those guys wondering what that is about, the audience or even the players themselves can donate some biddies to get a bonus equal to either a D4 for 400, a D8 for D8 would give you 800, and a D12 would give you sorry, my brain is so backwards right now. 1200 would give you a D12 bonus on your next consecutive rolls. If you have multiple values, use the highest. And then there's also the inverse, which people can donate pain instead of pleasure to give you a negative, a debuff. But we rarely see that except for the last couple sessions, which were pretty fantastic, I might say. A lot of chaos. We love our chaotic chat. So 1d4 pleasure across the board, which is our first and only pleasure accrued this night for this group. And boom. All right, I've got that dialed in. We also have other modalities of supporting the stream and the players. We have player points, which we're currently at 20, which allow the group to get rerolls. They get an extent of 2 chances for their rerolls. So their initial roll, and if they want to use a reroll and they got really bad, they get one more chance for that total of 3 attempts to any one roll. Those are 500 biddies if you're so inclined to give them. We have villain disadvantage, which is 1,000 biddies and grants the enemies a debilitating lower of the 2 die that they roll, taking the chances of a critical hit from 1 in 400 and pushing it all the way to 1 in 8,000, which is a pretty big debuff. Villain points. If you want to support the villains, because sometimes villains are cool or sexy or neat, or you just empathize with their problems because you have problems too. That's more me. That's why I write them that way. 200 biddies gets you a chance to support the villains. And no, the Sarah McLachlan music will not play when you support those villains. Companion points, they are 500 biddies and allow you to support the NPCs that are joined, whether it's the love interests or the allies or the family of the characters. So 15 villain points currently, 20 player points, 2 villain disadvantage, and 11 companion points, with 1d4 pleasure stacked behind each wonderful face you see on screen. All right. Let's see. So yeah, they escaped the fire of the building, which was a sneaky operation hidden behind a candy shop. Roger did an amazing job with her illusions and was able to pull a sneaky and almost got sneakied herself with a poisoning attempt on her life. And then the rest of the party escaped in the subterranean water tunnels and were reconnected with a curiously familiar merfolk friend. Or is it a friend at all? All right. Well, we will start with our lone wolf here, Roger, who is kind of wandering the night, trying to, I'm sure, figure out what to do after dealing with such a mess, after having been attempted poisoned, but did illusion magic to give that man the fright of his life by having him see the visage of his brother. That was a pretty excellent form of payback. Haunt someone, give them some PTSD if they try to poison you. Excellent. Excellent job there. All right, Roger, what would you like to do?
So last I went into the casino and I think I can't quite get to where they're at right now.
Right.
But I don't know where they're at right now. So I'm just kind of looking around.
Do you have magical forms of communication at all?
I don't.
No
No, I have
spells.
to be able to see people.
Okay. Because I know you guys all leveled up since last session, by the way. I know you guys are probably excited about the power of level 5 is a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I don't have anything. So what would I do? I guess I will look around. Is there anything useful? Because what I would be trying to find is something like a scary weapon that I could maybe turn into a better staff for channeling my magic, since there were so many sketchy people there.
Yes, if you go
That
back
might
to the
be
alley.
there. And then also what I would be trying to find is like maybe somebody dropped a scroll, or maybe there's like a lead into what might be, I don't know, good in the town.
Give me an
What's around?
investigation check. And you get to roll your d20 and your investigation skill.
16 plus 6, 22.
Nice. On top of the pleasure you got, you do find in the pile of kind of the burning alley, the fake burning alley. You faked the fire, right? Because it was illusion magic.
Nobody really got hurt.
No one really got hurt, and nothing got destroyed. So you do find a staff topped with a morning star like spike, or a series of spikes on top. Oh boy, we're getting some donations here from Red. Red, let us know what you want to do with that. And what's up, Evers? Good to have you. Hope you're doing all right, enjoying this evening, kicking back and relaxing. You got a good group of people here to entertain you.
Ooh, I'm very excited to have this scary morning star.
Yeah, it's like beautiful iron, like straight steel wizard staff, except topped with a vicious looking morning star cap. Almost looking like an underwater mine, if you've ever seen those, like in renditions of that capping, but the spikes. 2d4 for all. Pleasure, I assume. I don't know with you. You sometimes do pain all across the board, Red, so let me know. Ever nervous laughter ensues. Oh god.
Please be nice to us.
Please be nice.
Don't hurt us.
Please don't hurt us. She says with the throat slit makeup.
We've been hurt enough.
We've been hurt enough.
I'm limping here.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna write this down here. All right, and then so some of them were magic users, and sure enough, you do find a tucked hidden away in kind of like a secret pocket in one of the bodies. You find a scroll of sending.
Ooh.
And this is a communications scroll. Considering that this was a far wide operational group, or some of these bodies are of the other gang members, it makes sense that they'd have the equivalent of like a magical kind of one-time walkie-talkie to coordinate their efforts that didn't get used due to the abrupt coup of Darius Graves. With 2 villain points. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, no.
Villains, thank you.
Okay, I'm tucking that away in a waterproof pocket.
All right.
Awesome.
You also find actually an amount of gold. Since this place has been cleared out, you find 49 gold. You find 101 silver.
Okay.
And 202 copper pieces.
Fill my pockets.
Just
I'm
like
certainly not going to be telling Mifa about this.
I have some money that I won when I was drumming.
That's right.
I'm not going to come after anyone else's.
Yet.
Yet. I love that. Thank you, Beth, so much for kicking us off into a hype train. Awesome. Let's train roll on. Okay, so Roger, you've kind of been sneaky, gathering all the stuff and having spared lives with the unconscious figures. in the alleyway there, not having been burnt away to nothing.
Would any of the I don't know how to ask what I'm trying to ask. Never mind.
All right.
Actually, yeah. Are there any like symbols that would attach any of the people who were like the sneaksters who were trying to like find me when I was a wizard? Do they have any like pins inside their jackets or anything that would attach them to any of the other houses besides the one that they were already attached to?
You do find sending stones, actually, when you search those bodies in particular, which are one each type of walkie-talkie kind of connection. But it looks like you find a total of 3 sending stones that look to be integrated to each other. So when you can hand those out, you can communicate with everyone at distance. You do find, let's see.
I guess I'm trying to see if anybody's two timing.
Right, yeah.
2.
You do find a wand of hold person.
Don't mind.
And several badges that look to have an emblem of a death head moth. Because these guys
Death
are
head
rampant bisexuals. Yes, no, it's the classic tattoo for all bisexuals. Have you not seen that TikTok?
No.
There's like, they do like the like what's the tattoo for this group of people, and someone's like, oh, I got one for everyone, and the one is the moth with the skull.
Oh.
If someone has this on them, they're bi. That's just the rules.
Just the rules.
What's up, the Saint of Binding? The stream is now blessed. Excellent. Thank you. All right.
So is a sending stone like a scroll of sending but permanent?
Yes, essentially, once it's put in the ear of each respective person, they can talk to each other like walkie-talkies or headsets, like we're doing now. As a death head moth tattoo where I can check in and confirm. Oh man, that's our DM for the Monday campaign. Everyone, he's amazing.
That's awesome.
I want to see this. Put the picture in our Discord. I want proof and inspiration. All right, so we shall continue on with your looting.
Ooh, okay. Does anybody have any snacks?
Does anyone have any snacks?
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
You know, the bodies would have an array of maybe some rations in different forms, especially having just come from the candy shop. Definitely a variety of candies. Yes.
Excellent. I'm taking some candies and some meat rations because I was thinking of Azrael.
Nice. Aw, look at Azrael popping up. You thought of me? You think I'm pretty?
Meat rations for Azrael. Okay.
Okay. Munches candy.
Never show up anywhere empty-handed. That's what Mom always said, so it makes sense.
Okay. I feel like I've gotten lots of things. Oh, is there any like signs of where my friends might have gone?
Unfortunately, you have no signs investigating the outside of the burning building.
Okay. Well, I know they didn't come out the front door.
So they're either dead or they found their own way, is what you're left to surmise.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out of here
I
into the
thought,
alley.
okay, maybe I'm remembering wrong, but I thought you had made it inside and like just like I don't know, down some stairs or something, but like just like
I made
still
it down
2
the
chunks of the
stairs
way.
And she saw the fire, yeah.
Oh, okay.
so there's some kind of like broken rubble or something that you guys went through, but I don't think I would have known that it was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cece is taking candy from a corpse. Oh, God. Corpse
I
candy.
mean, they don't need it.
It's a Halloween themed thing.
I'm sorry, but hobgoblins have a sweet tooth, don't you know?
Don't you know?
Okay. Yeah, cool. I'm just gonna count my gold and sit in the alleyway, I guess.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. You see the fire crews come rolling in, and they start immediately bringing out what looks to be um, magical canisters called decanters of endless water. And they have these genie looking bottles that erupt with geysers of water when they aim it and start trying to put out the flames. They see some of the unconscious bodies as well as some of the force unfortunately deceased and immediately start doing kind of a rescue on anyone they can with CPR, first aid, tending to the attacked and wounded. The illumination of the carriage, these kind of spotlights, both going up into the sky and around the area to give enough light to find survivors, come dangerously close to illuminating you. I don't know if you want yourself to be made known by the fire crews or not.
I'm a little suspicious looking, so I'm gonna keep to the shadows and stay out of sight.
All right.
I'll probably do a minor illusion maybe to make it look like I'm doing like I have a mask, which would make me fit in with my little colors, right? So yeah, do
Nice.
some
I
kind of
love it.
little.
There is a apparition of spinning magic of the weave in front of you at the end of the hallway, just before you get the alleyway, just before you kind of get out into one of the more main streets in the darkness. It is a beautiful turquoise blue, uh, brimming with silver lines of energy, a weave of magic, both complex and ancient, as you have seen this portal once before, or a few times before, but to one other and one other only. And that is the mage that mentored you.
Do I know how this thing works?
Yes, it's basically a herald of sorts before your mentor steps out. And a foot steps out, followed by a leg, followed by the rest of this character's embodiment of their chosen form as a fellow illusionist and master of many different forms of magic. While I get their description up and ready here.
Ooh.
I forgot where I had it, but I will find it.
I have a lot of questions for this person, but I'm not sure if now is the right time. Let's
see. There we go. They wear a white and gold outfit. It at first would look like a blend of an elven style tabard, but the upper is like a flamenco uh, style dancer, almost like the matadors, the jackets. Instead of red and black, it is gold and white with tassels of ribbon, like a gold ribbons, almost like of a military quality, with black boots with golden buckles. On their belt, which is slanted diagonal from the weight of many different unique accoutrements, are Wizard's Tome, gilded in its protective cover, black bindings, the kind of pages that are almost like the edges are gold. So when you look at it from like the side of it, like from the side, it's just one block of gold. But when you flip through it, of course, it's uniquely white pages. They have an hourglass that seems to be moving with the sand almost audibly to your ears. A beautiful ring with a crest of a winged snake. That bottom half is a like an 8, and its upper half is a kind of rearing, ready to strike. A scroll and scroll cases hang one on one side, um, as well as a beautiful bag you recognize to be a bag of holding, an interdimensionally Mary Poppins-esque bag that opens up far bigger on the inside than one realized. And they wear a mask, high cheekboned, feminine-eyed, with kind of an almond shape, with a painting across the porcelain white of the mask that's gold and black, almost like the same style. The portal is appearing on the mask. It's like a tribute to the love of patterns. And then the earpiece, the mask has long tassels that are gold, like gold thread, like the old kind of things you would pull in old antique or boutique hotels to turn lights in the middle of the room. Mm-hmm. Black lipstick covers the mouth of the mask, a pointed chin, and they hold a chalice in one hand, and gesture with a white glove hand in the other. And their voice speaks, neither feminine nor masculine, they say. You are almost getting sloppy, my dear. It's good to see that you have thought quickly and used magic most appropriately to suit your survival. We cannot be having you succumb to this timeline's destructive nature. Not just yet. You have so much to do.
Excuse me then. Has anybody else noticed him come out?
No, the alleyway is where you are is still vacant, as the attention is on the main street behind you, as you are approaching an empty adjacent street beyond the burning of the building.
Okay, I want to ask him. What would you have me do next?
It's imperative that a great evil is not returned to this realm. At the same time, I cannot quite steer your destiny for you out of fear of tilting the scales out of balance.
What should I look for?
A vault filled with secrets, an old family with a dark name. But most importantly, you should never be alone. Not with such enemies hunting you down from your past. Those who have taken a personal slight at your abandonment of your people's ways.
How would they know?
The queen, she is cunning, not just in ways of war, but is keenly aware of those who pose a risk to the order that she has established in fear. I do not know her ways of knowing, but I am aware that your name has been spoken in places, and illustrations have been drawn up, questions have been asked. Your face is one not thought to be dead by those who wish it so.
Dare I ask where you've been all this time?
on another plane, working to make sure that the multiverses do not abrasively press to each other like jealous lovers, thus causing ruin.
And how fares our elf friend, your accomplice that found me?
He is well. He asks of you often, wishes to entreat with you, though he knows the risks. I have abided him the autonomy to do so at his discretion. It is unfair to you to steer your life one way without a hand of friendship alongside you. He will find you, I am sure, in no less than a time of need. But it seems you have made friends of your own, of which may or may not be in danger. It's hard to see. The paths before us all are murky. Your path, of course, strengthened by the bonds of the water folk and those bound in faith and sinew. You would be wise to seek the depths where they soon discover secrets I fear would put them in harm's way. Would you accept my gentle transportation magic into the depths?
They've proven to be good allies so far.
Allies are what will be needed for what is to come. As I said, there is a vault that you cannot enter alone. You need them, each of them, in some way or another. In the name of friendship or convenience, I allow you to choose your destiny. It is not for me to say what the dark stranger collects in the name of life or death. But there are ill tidings, very ill tidings. The gods, there is a predator among them. I speak too much of grander things. This is your aquarium. Enjoy it for now, lest the ocean swallow everything. And he opens a portal behind you, clasps a hand on your shoulder, and says, "You've done well. Remember, I may be discerning and frustrating in the riddles I speak, but I am not punishing. You would know if I were punishing." And he pushes you through the portal.
Okay.
All right. And there you spin, tumbling with the last breath you took held tightly as you were underwater amidst the wounded allies being guided in the bioluminescent kelp tunnels of the Undercity, the drowned city. Just like that. Fantastic.
Is this the same place where everyone else is?
It is.
Okay. Do I see them?
Yay!
Yes, you're reunited.
Huzzah!
Way to make an entrance.
Hello. So I don't remember what they're doing.
So they are underwater.
Okay.
And you are underwater, so I don't know if you'll be able to speak. It'll blue, 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 blue is kind of the vibe at this point. But they have...
It's a vibe.
It's a vibe. They have been given these... they've reached at that point of reference where they were told there would be these kind of bubbles that could be captured and used for air as kind of like these temporary bubble, like almost helms that kind of move over their head and attach to their neck, keeping a space of air. A familiar, I don't know if, I think it's the mer. Did your character meet the merfolk? That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Then an unfamiliar sort reaches out of the vast bubbles that come off of kind of climbing the kelp forest that you guys have wandered into through these ancient drowned city tunnels, and find yourself being granted an air bubble over your head by this very gentle and curious merfolk.
Thank you.
And now you can speak to each other.
You look well.
Only on the verge of death, but doing all right. Hanging in there.
Yeah, well wouldn't be the word I would use.
How did you join
Get
us?
here?
You know, I couldn't tell you. Don't quite know myself.
How many shark bites do I have again?
How many shark bites?
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Big ones, though.
Oh God, one is plenty.
Right? I don't know. When you've got as much to spare as Azrael in terms of bulking, you know.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Fine.
I'm eating right
How
now.
many
It's
shark
great.
bites am I? Is like it's like instead of how much do I weigh, how many shark bites am I? 25 shark bites is about how much you, pretty big then. Okay, cool.
Oh, 3's nothing then.
3
We're
is
great.
nothing. Yeah. You've only lost like almost a ninth of your body mass to sharks.
Oh, jeez.
It's fine.
That's fine. I'm doing a lot better than the guy I'm dragging along.
Yes.
Very true.
Yeah, how's he doing?
Not so good. I think he is missing his ears and a bit more.
And a bit more.
I think he knocked out from like loss of blood and shock and a lot of other things.
Does he have a bubble around him?
He
as
does.
Well?
Everyone here, all the NPCs have bubbles, unconscious or not. All right. And while you're having this conversation, Merfolk is kind of looking to each of you and says, "Land friends, it's time we move on."
Lead the way, lady.
That's not my name. And she swims off.
Follow that thing.
Do we even know her name? I think she kept it a
No,
secret
we
from
don't.
us. We tried to get it. I'm like, you bitch. I know.
That's also not my name. All right. She is guiding you through this kelp forest as you see, like I said, the bioluminescent algae kind of cling here with the scaling of bubbles. And she then looks back at you with a cheeky smile and then passes through a curtain of very dense kelp. Her fins kind of flapping almost in that come hither-esque body language that a person could make.
So flirtatious. We're like on the verge of death. And she's like, come up here. Come over here.
Well, I'm assuming we're following, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You go through and you are hit with the stunning sight, akin to discovering the lost city of Atlantis, illuminated by a dual small hill of magma glow, nestled between these two almost underwater volcanic structures that create this beautiful red glow against a phosphorescent shimmering castle, the colors and shine of the inside of a shell, like an abalone shell. Amidst the castle swim sharks and float countless mermaids, as plentiful as you could have seen maybe sea monkeys in a small aquarium. You are looking at the far view of a very beautiful kingdom of immaculate fish, and all of this is nestled amidst the old ruins of an old world. That coral of every kind, brain coral, structures of beautiful kind of arch coral, just radiantly illuminated by the glow of this magma, a gold red light that creates a tone against the blue to create almost a purple shimmer on almost anything. And there you see an entire civilization has been nestled in the expanse of the pillars that were once built long ago. Massive, massive, improbable pillars. Basically the bones of Farrakho. And here pumps the lifeblood, perhaps a piece of the realm where Farrakho keeps its secrets in the seas. Mifa, your eyes can even see almost immediately a familiarity that tracks your gaze to a temple of Delvia, not too far away from the castle and other
Oh, hell
such
yeah.
structures. And the massive glint of gold amidst the pantheonic pillars and statues of Delvia's grace. The merfolk who had guided you through this says, "Welcome to my home. I hope it pleases your eyes."
Gorgeous.
Mifa's about to hand everything over. Everyone, clutch your sacks.
Yeah. You guys have any other plans? I gotta make a pit stop. Go see my girl.
Make us blessed so we can heal up from all of these wounds, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, the guy's
Please,
missing
please,
some
please.
ears, so.
Almost lost my freaking head.
Did we leave the ears behind, or are they like reattached?
Someone grabbed them, I think.
Holy shit.
Someone grabbed, was it Lazuli? I'm trying to think, was it Lazuli who grabbed them? I'm trying to remember.
I
Someone
did
said that
not.
they had like grabbed the ears. Was you, Ezreal?
Maybe. I remember trying to like
It
swim the
was
guy
pretty
to
funny
safety.
that you're like, I'm gonna grab these ears that were floating in the water.
Gotta try to reattach that stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
all right, you are in possession of 2 human ears.
no, I thought he was like a goblin, or not a goblin.
He was little.
Oh,
I
sorry,
don't
the
know what he
dwarf.
was.
That's right.
Dwarf. Yes. I'm
the
like,
dwarf ears.
is
Yeah,
that's
my
the other
bad.
thing. Yeah.
And Saracen is with you guys as well. He's conscious, struggling, and it looks like he's either too stunned at what he sees to speak or too shocked at the events that just happened seconds ago, almost taking his life. He's in a very intense emotional state, allowing whoever has a hold on him to guide him away. And I forget who had that hold on him.
I think it was Azrael, because he was really, really heavy for some reason.
Yeah, he was kind of almost fighting you. Mifa, I think there was a part of him that was rooted in place, even in the water, with an intensity that Ezra was able to pry him free of.
Okay, then who's carrying the dwarf guy? Because
Like,
I thought, was I carrying both of them?
I have I think we like shared
Okay.
the load of the dwarf guy. I have
You
one
share
arm, you have
the
the other one.
load.
Yeah, share the load.
Okay, so I've got the ears and at least one of the guys, and
All right,
probably.
you guys are being guided towards the edge of this beautiful expanse of structures that look to be more stolen than built, in a manner of speaking. They really have been more adopted as their own, with the coral overtaking almost all things up into the castle. So you can see almost like the way that New Zealand has Hobbitshire of grass rooftops cottage core. This is like coral core, where coral grows on the rooftops, completely almost hiding the existence of homes from a direct overhead view. But as you go down, you can see streets, these cracks in the giant expanse of the enormous colossal brain coral and things like that, where there are doorways, and almost like sea glass windows fitted into the coral structures. Yeah, but nothing more immaculate than the almost like the shell castle.
Can any of the kelp and seaweed nearby be used for healing?
Go ahead and give me a medicine check or nature check, your choice. 16 with some pleasure. You take a look at the bioluminescent kelp before leaving it and find that it is no healing properties, but it can be used as almost an underwater torch if you take a piece, like a light source more than heat source, I should say.
Okay, gotcha. I'll grab a couple fronds and pocket those.
All right.
Do I have anything in my herbalism kit that may assist with any healing?
You would need a healing kit specifically.
Are we gonna have to keep wearing the bubbles, or is there areas for us to be able to breathe down there?
Well, I don't know. Some of you actually, as an
Well,
aquatic
I mean,
race, do you need
yeah.
them? I'm trying to remember. As your race, can you swim or can you breathe underwater? Any of you?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
So you don't need, it looks like, the bubbles. But the rest.
We're just showing off right now.
Right. The rest have a need for the bubbles. It doesn't look like there's an air pocket placed down here that you can see, at least. You know, a cursory passive perception with all of you looking. Looks like the bubbles are necessary for visitors to survive.
Didn't we have like a bottle of like healing potion and a bottle of poison that someone was holding on to, or did we already use those? Because I thought we had what's his name? The Baymax guy. We had them tested for which one was which, right? Or am I mixing things up?
No, we didn't. So yeah, I think we still have that. We didn't use it.
We do, yeah. Do we want to give some to our absolutely annihilated friends?
Yeah, probably.
As you guys discuss that, the merfolk, she looks over and says, "Oh, don't worry about that. We'll take care of your friends and yourselves. We have healers. Healers happy to help, especially a servant of Delvia."
That's very kind of you.
Delvia protects, does she not?
That she does.
Right? And she guides you all down where you're greeted by muscular men and women merfolk guards. Now, while your merfolk friend has chosen to remain mostly immodest in her attire, going free, the others seem to wear armor made of crab shell and other such very natural, unique things. And they have spears and tridents and other piercing implements. You notice that almost none of them have anything for slashing or bludgeoning, as underwater does not make that efficient. Every now and then you can see maybe a serrated blade for maybe cutting a tether, a line, a rope. But you are greeted. And she says, "I wish to bring them before the queen, if it pleases her." They look amidst each other and nod, and immediately you see a giant seahorse arise out of the, almost like a flounder shaking sand off out of a nearby sand dune. They blow into a shell and it comes over. It's a dull sound. Almost it sounds like someone humming in the shower, a single tone, but the creature does glide over. You can see the one of the guards immediately climbs onto the creature's back, holding the reins, of which you can see connecting to the bit of its strange kind of conical mouth. And they gesture to a pouch in the front for you all to get in of this giant seahorse.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Like
freaking do
kangaroo
it.
babies.
So
Yeah.
a
Free
kangaroo
ride, it's
seahorse
warm.
thing?
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
kangaroo seahorse thing.
All right.
Do it.
All in.
Crawl right in.
Yeah.
Yes, this thing is as big as maybe you could say an African or Asian elephant, um, and in size in relation to a human, and so you guys all fit kind of snugly. Uh, looks like you could definitely hold about 6 or 7 people in the pouch, though. You're all poked up, heads and shoulders, looking on as it swims, and
Oh
you
my god.
get to see everything as you go by.
Is everybody, as we're kind of driving by all the little buildings and stuff, does everybody have this kind of crab armor, or is it just the
It
guards?
seems just the guards.
Okay.
Other people maybe have like what looks to be fabric of some kind belted onto them, so it has kind of this almost like a lot of the women you can see wear like loose fitted tank top style netting or fabric in such a way where there's like I said, and immodesty doesn't seem to be a problem here. Side boob, under boob, all of it. Yeah, a lot of like jewelry of every kind wherever it can be, navel especially, like very complicated tattoo designs around hips and back and shoulders. um, there's a just a very like I said, coral core positive energy where there's hair pieces of very natural made things, and almost everyone has something that shines or glints and reflects the magma glow of the light. And as you get closer to the kingdom itself, you find that this kingdom, the current's warm as it kind of has this pattern that it goes and wafts beyond the magma, um, kind of the underwater volcano structures, and the warmth is very calming and comforting, and actually a great attractive ground for many biological creatures to enjoy safety here. Um, you're definitely aware that if you were to, of course, go to the center of these things, you would burn very badly. But in the peripheral of the water flow, it's very soothing, almost like not too hot as a sauna, but just perfect, like the very advanced hot water wetsuits for the deep sea divers. It just keeps you from getting hypothermia. You are.
So just to make sure, it doesn't seem to be like a strongly militaristic, other than these guards that are.
Yeah, you could say like the equivalent of guards. In the same way that the City Watch wears armor pieces. This, on the surface, the merfolk don't seem to bog themselves down with anything so cumbersome as that.
Okay.
And yes, walks the wind. They are actually squid ink tattoos.
Oh, so cool.
And yeah, so you guys kind of traverse and see many people kind of look up and kind of double take upon seeing maybe the red face of Rager, or the but very bulk of Azrael. Not too much of a double take to Mifa and Lazula, except for maybe the wounds of which you guys might bear kind of a concerning glance. And of course, the unconscious body of the earless dwarf and the struck visage, kind of the, like I said, in shock look of Saracen Graves. As his eyes seem to process what he's seeing, but it's almost like he's in a dream. This effect is very enchanting as you approach the castle. And sure enough, the seahorse glides to a stop at the castle. And in a traditional sense, you guys would approach a castle in a certain way on land, but because this is three-dimensional movement, is the functionality of all things. There's different ways to enter the castles here, in the same way that fish enter coral from above the sides. And so in that way, there's definitely a lot of more guards in different places, more indentations carved in the form of parapets and unique ways, almost like an MC Usher style painting, where anyone, upside down is relative underwater. And it's more, sometimes people are more comfortable, and if they've grown in societies where they can float, to be upside down. But you are brought to a massive entryway that it has the like a massive, almost like a stone door seal that has been open for traffic to come through. You can see the equivalent of petitioners, merchants moving through the main way. And all these are locals There's not one surface lander equivalent of any of you here. You spot, let's see, actually, we'll do a perception check from any of you. Whoever wants it, or all of you.
You don't want mine.
You don't want mine.
What do we roll for that? 20?
11. Oh, 20. And then you add your perception.
Mm-hmm. No moat.
I don't see shit. I'm just
I don't,
closing my
I don't
eyes.
see it. We have like another player that constantly rolls low perception. Like, so I don't see anything, or I don't know anything on knowledge checks.
Not sure if I'm reading this right, but I rolled a 6, but I think my perception is 11. That seems high for me.
Is it, are you looking at passive, or are you looking at your perception skill in the alphabetized list next to persuasion and
Let's do persuasion.
It's in the skills box underneath
Yeah.
the saving throws.
yeah,
Should be a little plus something.
yeah, plus something is what you're looking for, not a flat number.
There's
12
Stir, Dex, Con, Int, Wiz, Cha.
And then below that into below that.
It starts with acrobatics, animal handling.
Yeah.
I don't have that on D&D Beyond.
You might want to
but-
go to the next page, because D&D Beyond has a tab
Click on
where you
the
can click skills.
There's a tab.
Click on the
Bottom right.
6.
Oh, you're on your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Click on like the 9
Well,
little
'cause
red
my-
squares and then go to skills.
9 little red squares. That's what you want to click on. I always forget how to describe it. I'm like a little grid thing.
Skills. Okay. Just because I have my paper version, but that was at level 4, so I didn't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
it was different.
It shouldn't have.
Okay.
Did your proficiency bonus guys go up?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's your same as your level 4 plus 1.
Okay. So so it's 6 plus 1.
All right.
So I rolled a 7.
Okay. You don't see it. Mifa and Roker, what'd you get?
12.
11.
Okay. All right. So with pleasure, Mifa and Roger see what can only be described as a large shark octo crab hiding in a camouflaged state, like a crab octopus tentacled shark creature. And I will describe it thus: the appendages of a crab, including one devastatingly large pincer, a massive tentacle, as well as kind of like almost like the breathing apparatus of an octopus, and the tortoise kind of snapping turtle head of a shark underneath a shell. And it stands the size of a diner. And it seems to be blending in near the entrance, almost like a protecting guardian creature to the castle of this.
All right, let's not piss these people off.
Can I true strike if I'm not in battle?
Yeah, you can kind of try to gauge
just to be safe, on the safe side.
Let's see. True strike is one of those weird cantrips.
Do one of those.
I mean, they did want to show us to the queen. That could be very good or very bad. I feel
This
like
thing
he's just like
looks
on
scary.
guard.
Is
But
it
he's
actually?
camouflaged,
I just like
though.
to know what we're up against. Is all.
Wait, what are you doing?
True strike is you point a finger at a target, and your magic grants you brief insight into the target's defenses.
Oh, okay.
All right. The creature's shell shimmers in a moment, and it seems to bounce your magic off of it and back to you. Thankfully, your magic was not a harmful one, as the creature
It's
doesn't
rubber
seem
and you're glue.
bothered.
I was
know,
thinking
what
that
am I?
too.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
The creature kind of shifts, nestling itself deeper into the alternative texture. It changes its body after its shell kind of ripples with the glow of your magic.
I kind of want to catch Lazuli's eye because I think that she'll know what I might have just done. Can I like read my mind?
Read my mind. Yeah, what do you say to her?
I want to just kind of like nod at the thing and be like, there's some bounce back.
Reflective.
Just kind of nod. I don't want to.
Understood.
I don't want to drag this conversation on for long enough to anybody to notice we're talking.
At that point, you are kind of ushered in by the guards. And they speak briefly to the merfolk that has brought you there in their native tongue. What languages do you speak? Any of you?
Common and goblin.
It is not common or goblin. How about the next?
1 second. Abyssal, celestial, common, and primordial.
Okay.
I speak most creatures, forest creatures, water creatures, whatever kinds of creatures. I love nature.
All right, Sylvan. That makes sense. And then Mifa.
Aquan, common, and infernal.
All right, Mifa, you're the only one who catches this. So it is an Aquan.
Okay.
You hear Princess, what are you doing back so soon from your Sirven? I discovered treasures. And she gestures her head gently in the direction of these people that are you, with stories and danger. Your mother will not be pleased. What makes you say that? Your brother. He has been impassioned. It is looking like he is scared away his most recent attempt at arranged courtship on behalf of your mother, the queen. Well, perhaps he deserves his own Servin. If only it were so, it might temper the lad. But he cannot just leave. Should anything happen, it is our customs, and it is mine as captain of the guard to make sure that your friends are not so dangerous. Can you express to them the desire to disarm? And they will receive healing in good faith. She nods. She looks over and says, the captain of the guard insists that you do not bring weapons into the chamber of the queen, and I think that is normal, yes, for the surface lander customs, but if you are uncomfortable with this as well, you can stay here. I'm not forcing you to go in, but healing will be applied in this domain.
I'm cool with it. Can I keep my shield, or does that count as a weapon?
Shield can definitely be used as a weapon.
She says,
Right.
shield is fine.
I'm feeling like a Gandalf vibe here. Like, don't let the wizard have his staff.
I gotta represent my religion, you know.
That's right.
Kind of turn an eye to Mifa and raise an eyebrow because we can't understand anything.
She at least says this much in common to you guys about the need for disarming.
Okay. I don't mind disarming.
I kind of give a side eye to Rarger and raise a little bit of an eyebrow, knowing that we're both magic users.
Yeah, kind of.
I've
Y'all don't
fought
need your
many
weapons.
battles without weapons. I'll be fine.
These two babies.
My
These
guns
are my weapons.
Will we get our weapons back?
She says, I swear it, you will get your weapons back. She kind of looks over to the captain of the guard and says, barring no offense or disruptions of a volatile kind. I know the Queen is capable of understanding cultural differences, but there are, of course, exceptions and egregious transgressions that can occur. I guess you could say I'm vouching for you all.
Very nice of you, Your Highness. Do people call princesses Your Highness?
And she eyes go wide. You speak Aquan?
That I do.
She kind of looks over and says, well, I'd hope to keep that secret a little longer. But yes, I am my mother's daughter.
Why do you keep it a secret?
I feel that question does not need an answer. Or perhaps I find the answer too obvious.
Mm. Fair enough.
She looks to the others.
Was she just calling us stupid?
She looks at others and says, do any of you understand why a princess would want to be known as such?
Not a damn clue. I would take that status for days.
I would take the status for days.
Would you have treated me differently were I a princess?
Perhaps.
I mean, we still followed here in like a seahorse kangaroo thing. I feel like there's at least some trust there.
Or desperation?
Yeah, true.
Yeah. That.
She points to like the gash along Lazuli's neck.
Yeah, mermaid is rare enough, so I'd be just as surprised if you're royalty or not.
Why would you not want to boast about your status?
As I said,
Status brings respect.
Respect brings respect.
Sometimes.
If people treat you with respect only because of a title, then you have not earned it. And if you have not earned it, then you have not earned loyalty. And if you haven't earned loyalty, you surround yourself with sycophants, people who are dangerous, pleasing your ears with honeyed words, entreating your eyes with the sparkle of flash fish, other such things. I would want people to respect me for the merit of my nature or their own. But if they respect me because I'm a princess, the day might come when I am not such. And where will we be then? Besides, it's fun having people chopped up for being rude to me. That was a merfolk joke.
I got it.
Oh my gosh.
You know what? Let's just go get healed. Let's follow this lady.
She's funny. Let's go.
And she smiles and nods and swims in the direction after the guards comfortably kind of just take your weapons and put them to the side at the entrance. You are taken to a court where you can see that people are leaving after perhaps some good sized event or meeting, but all that's left is the echoes and Aquan of a male's voice who says, she was bland, mother, as bland as the stone the surface dwellers walk on. She spoke of nothing worldly. Her mind was shapeless as the most water-washed coral, repeating opinions everyone in court has. I don't look to marry for agreements. I'd rather have arguments and the roughest of enough. My son, I need not think of your preferences when alliances need to be made. Now, your sister has returned. I expect you to show a modicum of your bare minimum in decorum for those in attendance. Very well. We'll see what flavors she has brought. Surface dwellers, I hear. Perhaps dignitaries. Do not judge so quickly. Those who have legs also have teeth. Yes, mother. I understand. And you hear another horn trumpet your arrival, this time more musical in its notes. And in Aquan, an introduction of the princess is made. And it is Princess Celadia of House. Oh my God, where are my notes? Celadia of House. All these damn houses.
I like that it's filet, dia.
Nice.
Being like a salad.
So do we
it's just
know
houses named. It's like the Caesar salad. I just name
Caesar.
houses after all the salads.
of ranch?
So Lady of House Falesh.
Do we know if the son or the prince that oh my gosh, words, the prince that needs to get married off or is going to get married off, is he the oldest or younger in comparison to the princess that we've met? Do we
don't know? And the only one who heard that was the one person who speaks Aquan as well, which is Mifa. It sounded like very loud, a musical sound of like bubbling noises, the sound of water crashing under a waterfall when it's an angry voice, or whispered ushered tones of a water bottle held under water being filled by the vacuum. Kind of a sloshing, bubbling, flowing script of sound that you can barely acknowledge as a language because how hard it is for you to determine any difference in every word.
Okay, so then when Mifa responded to them, it was in Aquan, like calling her out as a princess, or
I don't
yeah,
know. Yeah.
Okay. I said that in Aquan.
Okay.
All right, you are brought before a powerful looking figure. In fact, I think I don't have here that shows this. Let me pull this up.
House of Raspberry Vinaigrette. Love
Yeah,
it.
name all the salads you guys know, and these will be my
dressings. Yeah.
House chef.
What's everyone's favorite salad is now like thing to ask.
House of 1,000 Islands.
House of 1,000 Islands is so good though. 10 treasure points to you, my friend. That was fantastic.
Oh God.
That was brilliant. House of 1,000 Islands. Write that down. Write that down.
Sometimes I have some smart ideas. They just don't always come out.
All right. This is mine. Putting it in our Discord chat on the Skull for Initiative channel here. Putting into the chatter section. Adding now. Oops. Where'd it go? There you are. In fact, I have to look at two screens while doing this. This is the queen. She wears the jaw of a eel, like one of those dire eels cast in metal as a helm, and a trident staff that radiates with magical energy that both Lazuli and Rarger can see through the gaze of their magical intuition. And her fins on her arms and her body, the quillions, it looks to be the arms are natural. The quillions that come off her body, like a scorpion fish, seem to be a type of almost armor. Her lower half is a powerful, massive, thick body, like a beautiful koi fish. And not too far away is her eldest sun, which I actually kind of just answered one of your questions there. Whoops.
Oops.
Oops.
It's too late. The
It's
secret's
too
out.
late. God damn it. Let's see. It's more of like a Namor vibe for now. I'll find the art later, but it's a very DC Lord of Atlantis vibe, but with the Aztec style armor made of precious, looks like almost like a jade, glowing jade. Yeah.
Has like villain vibes. Looks, like
What'd you say?
Villain vibes.
Villain vibes, like a baddie.
And again, we haven't been healed. How villainous do we look right now? Like, we've got some slit throats, missing ears, like multiple shark bites.
Do we look cool, like badass, or do we look pathetic?
I'd say you look badass.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, canonically, I've only imagined badass.
I mean, we still swam quite a ways and we're still following people around, so.
True. We're not out for service.
Priestesses of Delvia swim in their merfolk kind of grace that you can recognize Mifa, and they see your shield, and one of them kind of lights up and takes kind of a bow to you and says, "May we tend to your wounded allies." And the queen says, "Tend to them all, but take the males away. Leave us with those clearly capable, alive, and in power."
At first, I totally forgot about the dwarf and the guy that we were protecting. I'm like, which one of us is she calling male?
Like, okay, offended.
The dwarf and our boss.
Hi.
Get rid of them.
Yeah, they get escorted by the healers of Delvia, as well as some guards just in case. And you are left in this beautiful circular audience chamber that looks like the almost the inside of a closed, unbudded flower, but completely of shells, and where the light is kind of drifting in from looks to be a opening where that flower top just barely would bloom and shows kind of the glow of the magma reflecting off of the underside of the city of Farrakho, the massive stone structure that exists and blocks out the sky, but has this gorgeous sparkling texture of phosphorescent algae and other things to almost emulate a sense of night and twinkling stars. You notice that some sort of serpentine creature coils around a statue near the top, and you start noticing and looking around that there are more than one of these sea serpents that protect this domain. They seem to be in a lulled kind of almost sleep, but one of you knows better and knows that these are dire eels and are very capable of feigning being a part of their environment, even going so far as to either be asleep or feigning sleep until the tremors of a kick, a splash, or an echoed voice disturb them enough to instinctively lash out with their two jaws.
This is a well-guarded place.
Do you say that out loud?
I think I just kind of mutter it while looking up. Flashbacks.
The queen says, "There is no better guarded place underneath the surface than my domain. What are your names, guests?"
Mifa, Your Highness.
Mifa, you bear the mark of our mother Delvia, the great giver, which provides us with so much that we can never repay, and yet I sense a piety about you, someone who knows what is owed to Delvia, her treasures, life and death. You bear the mark, the countenance, the aura of someone devoted.
I live my life to serve. It's a pity that I'm not immortal.
Delve your rewards in time, perhaps. We can never be so sure. After all, we've all heard the tale of the Fathomless and his immortality granted by Delvia. But I digress. And I see another among you, another friend to our kind of water, a Genasi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, Lazuli.
Soothing. She kind of weighs your name and looks at you, weighing you, and you feel a pressure of that gaze upon you. And she gestures with her trident almost casually towards Azrael and Rugger. She says, and these ones who seem ill at ease floating here, your names?
Azrael.
I do my best to bow if I'm a little unbalanced.
Bowing underwater while floating.
Roger.
That's a good touch. I like imagining that. The canonical, like, whoop, 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 whoop.
Roger, Your Majesty.
See you come in the company of Princess Saladia. What is your relationship with my daughter?
I look uneasily over at Mifa and Lazuli.
That of a friendly nature. We
How
played a
friendly,
game.
she says.
She taught us a game and came to our aid when we were in trouble.
You are not her concubines.
What does that mean?
You are not her
No, we're not.
lovers.
Oh. No.
No,
Negative.
we just gave gifts and tried to play games and become friends.
My goodness, lady, you've actually made friends who you haven't bedded. How refreshing. She just kind of glares at her mother. Says,
oh my god.
There's always time, mother. Just rebelliously. And then she looks over at you guys and is just like, just shrugs and don't take it personally. This is just my family. And this is my son. Why don't you introduce yourself properly? I am Prince Lorax. It is a pleasure to meet you and speak your tongue. I hope
Lorax?
Vorax.
Vorax, okay.
I hope my common is suitable, not easily spoken.
Sure, everyone here appreciates it. Nice to meet you as well.
I feel like both me and Rarger just kind of keep looking nervously at Mifa and Lazuli, like, what do we do now? Like, we don't want to insult anyone, but
Princess Ladia says, Mifa can speak Aquan. Almost like you can tell like she's saying it excitedly, but also as like a warning not to say anything in Aquan around her.
I say in Aquan, just dabble and use it occasionally.
As well you should, says the queen. It is a language that contains primordial powers. You can use it in this domain, should you be worthy, to persuade water elementals and other creatures of Delvia's domain to come to your aid. but some try without worthiness, find themselves eaten. Consider it the nature of the hubris of those who try to have command over those beyond their purview. But this family does not have that issue, as Stilady has brought you as friends. I receive you as guests. And we shall have a supper, if you would be willing, after your wounds are taken care of, to celebrate and also to learn of your worldviews, as I've been curious of how things fare in your world, how you came to be here in the company of my daughter.
That sounds lovely. Looking over at y'all.
Healing would be quite appreciated given our state.
Well, let it be known that no harm will come to you. You will be given every courtesy and healing. If you find yourself in less than quantity or quality of such care, all you have to do is have it known, and I will hear and make sure accommodations and corrections are made immediately. Let it be known that Queen Roshana is not one who ignores the care of her guests.
All right, let's get to the healing.
At that point, the servants of Delvia kind of gently guide you, and they're bowing to the queen as for like facing her before guiding you out. What do each of you do?
Bow also. Just copy.
Yeah, bow and try to follow where we're being led to.
Yeah,
I'm ready to be amongst the working class.
The normies.
You can feel like Saladia kind of reading her mom's kind of gaze kind of curiously as her mom's kind of keeps her face fixed on you, and you can also feel Vorax kind of eyeing all of you as well with curiosity before you're brought to what looks to be a protective chamber, where there is a lot of nature, herbalism, medical care, healing, alchemy, and it looks like instead of beds, there's just almost these 4-poster kelp positions that scale up, that looks to have patients already there, gently tied by the kelp wherever it is they're not wounded, so that they float and sleep in that calm position underwater while people tend to them. You can see that a dwarf is there already in this position and asleep. The same with Saracen Braves. It looks like they have some sort of something over their mouth and nose. Looks like some sort of starfish, and it looks to move with their breathing.
Like, I've seen enough movies to know that's how they lay eggs into your stomach and stuff starts bursting out of you. Like, nope, that sounds terrible.
Do you say this out loud? No, I'm kidding. How did you know? No, I go. Their wounds seemed grievous, both physically and of the mind. I had no choice but to make sure they did not harm themselves further with the state of unconsciousness that is demanded of greater healing. You all are not necessarily in need of such, unless, of course, you begin to suffer a panic spell, as many surface dwellers struggle to remember that it is okay to breathe when you wake up underwater. Unconsciousness does help the healing, though. Mermaid Man, right? Exactly. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. But you can be conscious if you wish. It will only take no more than an hour to tend to all your wounds. We would love to hear about the surface world while we take care of you. What is it like up there? As they immediately begin removing your damaged clothing and armor pieces and gently like massaging salves and cleaning the wounds. It stings at first, almost like an alcohol rub, but you can see the other patients seem to have had, certain kind of monstrous kind of claw or bite wounds that seem to be healing very well in a masterful kind of style of stitch work that looks like you can see someone applying almost like the head of an ant, an underwater kind of ant creature, to the wound, having it bite and then breaking the head off of the body so that the creature acts as stitches with its teeth down the wound.
Oh my gosh.
This is a real world practice in some places.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just standing by and keeping watch. I don't really understand what's going on, but hopefully, I don't know. Hopefully everybody looks like they have good intentions. I'm a little suspicious because this is a world I'm very unfamiliar with.
I'm happy to tell them all about all of the nature and creatures and everything on land and in the air and everything, and go into great detail on all the smells and sights and colors and everything.
They are riveted as you guys talk, and they look to you with almost like the way any of us could speak to cloistered nuns about any part of our daily life that would seem so nominal, and to them it's phenomenal.
Wholesome.
Yeah, they ask questions about smells and what it's like to breathe air. They ask things that you just are like so secondary to you as a function. Over time, they ask more personal questions.
Happy to explain the function of a rubber duck.
Yeah. One of them asks, "How did you get hurt? Was it a monster?"
Oh, just a shark. A few sharks. It's fine.
Absolutely a monster.
Or are they your pets? How does that
Oh,
work?
they are only the royal family can command the sharks of this territory.
So does that mean the royal family attacked us?
I don't believe so.
Hmm.
Sharks will act in their own nature when not being commanded by the royal family. I imagine you were food for them. Such is the natural order of things. Small fish eaten by large fish. That is why small fish stick together.
How else did other people get hurt? I can't remember. I was busy punching things.
I was too busy punching things.
Well, I was certainly attacked by a monster. Someone dark from my past who has not earned his place with respect as it seems that you and your family have. And they were quite clever and cruel with the way that they hurt people.
These like acolytes of Delphia look to each other curiously and continue to pry and go, a surface dweller did this to you?
Yes, they did.
Are they all like this? Like the stories of sailors, pirates?
No, thankfully. But sometimes it can be hard to tell who is who.
We're not like this. That.
This,
so
that, and the other.
Unsuspicious. Goodness. Yeah, totally not us.
Oh, Lizzie's over here like, oh, I mean, not everybody's like that, but you never can tell, can you? We're just like, There you
Shouldn't
your
trust
wing
anyone.
was
Why, I could snap your neck right here, right now, if I wanted to. Kind of conversation. She.
I
I
mean, they
would
took our
never,
weapons. So.
unless.
Mm.
What?
It's like, look at my shield. I'm like, I can worship my god in multiple ways. And then, I'm just kidding.
Do you all have, you're all different, and your peoples, do you find that it is easy to be on the surface being so different?
Yeah.
Everywhere has its politics, right?
Okay,
And-
now who's being the naysayer?
I joined your dwarf friend and lost an ear. Hang on.
Oh.
That's awesome.
It definitely keeps things interesting. All the different species up there. And also, Lazuli and I being able to dwell under the waters as well.
At that point, one of them kind of like looks over and asks, "Do you think it'd be rude to ask if they have mates?" And Aquan.
Hmm. I don't believe any of us do, and I say that in Aquan. But I don't think it would offend them to ask.
The other one says, "Excuse my friend, she's overtly curious, having come from a more sheltered world than most of us. Mates, do you have them?"
Not anymore.
"Oh, I'm so sorry." And the other one like punches.
Oh god.
Why would you let me ask that?
I'm sure all of us are shocked too, because we
Yeah.
didn't know that. We're just like
Yeah.
looking at each other like,
Oh shit.
no, I kept myself and lived a pretty sheltered life up until recently.
Is it like the great anglerfish where you eat the mate?
No.
You sure?
I'm not sure. I don't know what a Lokatha does.
Or they look
not,
to
not
Lazuli,
usually.
"Did you eat your mate?"
No, why would I do that?
Of course not.
Some of the big creatures out there in the world do so for energy after having dealt with them.
Dealt with.
Do your people have mates, like just one?
We are
Doesn't sound like it.
not limited to one mate, but the royals have their customs for lineages. And one says, a bit more crassly, in the comfort of just the girl, says, "I would be Vorex's mate in a octopus's heartbeat, I would." And but she kind of just smiles and says, "But I am a priestess of Delvia, and I have sworn myself to only creatures of Delvia's image. And Mifa, you know that some different sects of like religion fall into different like beliefs, and they are of the belief that it's all only women for them."
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But yeah, that is, they you know that there's nothing higher in the form than Delvia's form. So water, women, no men, no problems.
I can respect that.
Get treasure, don't deal with dudes.
So the royalty here, mates
Mates for life.
Interesting. I would expect them to be more like my people and just whoever's the strongest becomes the leader.
I suppose that strength would be important, because how could you hold on to your lineage if there was another threat? But the different,
Yeah, see, you understand. Strongest holds the throne.
yes, and Queen Roshana is the strongest by far. She holds the other houses in check, I think more with fear than respect. But they are allowed to mate as they will. Morshana, her mate passed away, like yours, Lazuli, but she has not taken any mate after that and has allowed herself, as I understand, to take on paramours of any kind that suit her. I've heard good things, that they are treated well. Perhaps it is a family trait, as I hear all of the family enjoy some degree of open connection, but I know that Prince Vorax, he does not, he has not found his mate. His mother arranges many such suitors from the different houses of the different seas. We are grateful he has not ever settled.
Why are you grateful?
He is a part of the warrior sect of our people, among the greatest, and we are keenly aware that when he leaves to take over the dowry of the kingdom he marries into, he will take with him a piece of the fighting force that helped defend us. And we are reliant on our mastery of the creatures and their protection, especially the sharks and the dire eels that the family is able to control.
This is probably going to be an odd question, but have they attempted to pair him with his sister?
There is old traditions that we have heard. Is that you say that with a face that tells me it is uncouth, but it is not unfamiliar here. But
in some areas,
it is rare. They are not, I think, of that interest. Some even suspect that Vorax has no enticements. He is more keen on battle than anything.
So if he's keen on battle and he protects your village area, why does he need to get married off to another area?
To pacify a potential enemy by becoming the prevailing lord of distant lands, we get those resources and we nullify the threat of rivalry in the land between. It makes the princess more capable of ruling her domain, though she is very rarely here, much to the displeasure of her mother. Yes, perhaps, and maybe this is too forward, but we have always been curious as well of your customs. What's it like to mate with legs? Do they get in the way? Do you ever just kick?
Do they get in the way? They are the way.
They are the way. Wisdom.
That's it. I'm leaving Delvia. It's the way of the legs.
Way of the legs.
The way of the legs.
A new worshiper.
Imagine imagine being a great warrior, but your mom is setting you up on dates. Like, Mom, I've slayed countless enemies, but I'm not going out with your friend's cousin's son. 5 minutes later, okay, Tuesday at 7. Amazing, though. Amazing. All right. The banter continues as the comforts with these acolytes of Delvia. There's an interruption as you, after an hour's passed, you all fully healed. You guys have your spell slots back. Everything is back. You're totally rejuvenated.
Yes.
The interruption is you can recognize me as a head priestess of Delvia, someone above your you could say casual, comparatively casual, someone who holds dominion over a temple, a high priestess. She wears all the vestments of such.
I said that you were going to say she wears all the vests.
She wears all the vests.
All the vests.
It's like 3 vests deep here.
Oh, she's
No.
devoted.
Oh, devoted. You're like, oh shit. Looking down at Mifa's 1.5 vests right now.
No, why is she not donating these vests? I don't understand.
She kind of she is a sharp-eyed woman who kind of has the like a female Snape with a McGonagall's poise, an intensity about her, constantly assessing for threats as she makes a gesture and shoos the acolytes out of the way as they, with a kick of their fins, move to the walls in a deep reverent bow, holding bloodied bandages and the remainder of their work, as she kind of swims around looking at each of you and stops in front of Mifa. Am I to believe that you are a worshipper of Delvia, legged one?
You will assume correctly. And I heft my shield.
You know not
And
my assumptions. Anyone could steal such treasures. Many have.
she's blessed me personally many times.
And
With
the
all the
girls like
legs.
titter and giggle, repeating what you said, like the legs, it's the legs.
It's the legs.
They are the way.
She kind of looks over and the girls stop giggling and she says, I find that hard to believe, but there are always miracles in Delvia's name and charities as well.
I just glare at her.
Tell me of your devotion to Delvia. Tell me, what is it of Delvia that you have found your current, your depths, the crushing seat of your soul in darkness and in light, on the storm surface and otherwise? What is it that sings to you for Delvia's name?
She was always there for me at the hardest of times. And whenever I am able to donate any earnings that I come across, it brings me enlightenment. And I'm addicted. Does that answer your question?
You sing the song in a way that tells me you know the words, and I'm not sure if I felt the harmony of them. I'm curious, what have you sacrificed for Delvia? Why would she choose you personally to bless when there are others who sacrifice so much and often in her name?
A ship's worth of gold and my servitude, and I am a pretty powerful servant.
Powerful, you say? And what power do you wield?
Let's just say you do not want to see me get angry.
So you bear the wrath of the ocean goddess. You contain her storms within you, is it?
What's that other thing I have? Other thing that I have that's what's that called?
Problems. Problems.
99 problems. And this bitch is
But a
one
fish
of
ain't
them.
one.
Queen ain't
But a
one.
fish ain't one.
Is it some sort of boon that I got from her?
Yes.
I thought
I'm
that was
like,
gonna be different.
that's why
also.
I give away all my gold so that I never miss. I can like have a reroll if I miss.
So she you like reroll with plus 20 to it. She says, so you're of the warrior sect of Delvia. You fight for her.
Set up incoming.
Yes, I suppose I do.
The prophecies seem to be in our favor, as we were told Delvia would send a great warrior to fight a monster that has been plaguing one of our underwater mine caves. And here you are, the proclaimed chosen of Delvia, having been blessed by her personally. Acolytes, you bear witness. I shall inform the queen of your devotion in Delvia's name.
Does anyone else hear wedding bells?
Perhaps a funeral, maybe. And she says, by the end of your stay here, I look forward to being in the presence of Delvia's great champion, you who does not miss. And she turns and swims out.
Kind of like yell after her. Yeah, she doesn't miss. She doesn't miss. And I turn to Mifa and I say, "Are you okay? That seemed a little tense."
I think I was just set up.
I think so too.
Oh goodness, the high
I'll help grow the
priestess.
flowers.
We must tend to her, but it was so nice knowing you.
Fuck, that's ominous. Nice knowing you.
Don't worry, Mifa, you've got a team.
It's your blessed.
We know your power.
Yeah.
Didn't hear you
We've
guys
been
say that
blessed
before.
through you, so we're basically all four blessed.
Yeah. Well, we didn't want to offer up to potentially get married off to the other guy, so that's why we stood back. Let you have your time to shine.
Have your moment. You're about to be
not a wedding.
queen.
She is going to fight.
She's
If she
but she's gonna win.
Yeah,
and-
so and then they're
win, and then
obviously
they're
gonna
gonna-
want her to stay. So
I guess that makes perfect sense.
They don't have to give her to a different kingdom.
to marry her off to the other kingdom.
I think you guys are trying to get rid of me.
What do you
Go
mean?
ahead and get married. You would be perfect for him.
We're
We'll just be your wing
to-
women or your fin women or whatever you call them.
Fin women.
Fin women.
Oh
we're
my
trying
God.
to
We got
help
your fin.
Dude.
Give me some fin.
Oh God.
We're trying to help offer more blessings to you from your god lady Delvia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the best blessing.
You guys are
What's
great
stopping you?
friends. Appreciate the support, guys.
Good.
I just thought she was a bitch.
The acolytes are
this
really
queen sucks. The good thing to do would be to replace her.
No, not the
lady.
queen.
Not the queen.
Not the queen.
Ladies,
The
that one was
Oh,
the
I
lady
thought
with
we
all
were
the
talking to
vests.
the queen, my
priestess
bad.
lady.
This is
the lady
vest
with the
lady.
vests. I just can't help but just Azrael.
She just
or Bunny
rolls
just
in.
Imagining with vests.
Fight the shark.
Fight the shark. That thing is way more than a shark. I think it's like
part
under their
shark.
command, right?
You don't know what they're referring to. That's the part. Is
Well,
there's something that is plaguing one of their minds, and
my best guess is it's the like ancient story thing that the
Velkaj.
that the mermaid was talking about before we knew she was princess
Yeah.
under the city.
Okay. Yeah.
That that sometimes causes earthquakes and stuff.
Yeah, I did write something about that a while ago.
I didn't write anything down. I'm doing great.
You're doing great.
You're doing great.
That is the lore. Yeah, Vilkaj, the great serpent that causes the earthquakes. At that point, your mermaid friend, Princess Ladia, comes in and says, "Did I hear this right? Are you, Mifa, going to fight the beast of the mines?"
I don't remember signing my name on any contract, but it kind of sounds like I might have to.
Well,
We may have to confer with our
Employer.
what do you call it? Employer.
Yes.
Yes, we're
Benefactor.
already
Before we
in,
commit to another contract.
Yeah, we're
Our
in a
services are
contract
free.
and we don't want to make sure that anything is clashing.
Yeah, I don't
I
want to lose
see.
my job or my life, but I'll first my job.
Can't have money for the gods if you don't have a job.
Well, and if you lose your life, then you're also losing your job. So you're losing two things at once.
She puts a hand on your shoulder, me for her bicep, and kind of just gives it a squeeze and says, "You are someone I've seen as capable when you fight for Delvia, she will protect you."
Sure hope so.
He has this far.
And if you all join her, I cannot see you losing. If anything, this will solidify your place as eternally welcome guests, if not people of title and station here in my home.
I like the sound of that.
Me
But
too.
we'll have to check in with our unconscious boss when he awakens.
We will put in a good word, of course.
Well, you are, on my behalf, as limited as it is as princess, believe it or not, you are welcome. The realm of Elshinore is made better by the diversity you bring, the stories you tell, the might that you show, especially Delvia's might. It is something of hope that we have needed, a prophecy that we have had. The mithril mines will be cleared by your hand, your weapon, the beast slain, and our lives all made better for it. It is up to you. But it would help us so much.
Will you grant us entry into the city before we commit to anything to make
Yes,
sure that we have our bearings?
I will accompany you as required at my station. And just be careful. Any transgressions will fall on my shoulders and punishments on my neck.
Azrael. No axing any children, okay?
I mean, if it's not specifically stated in the contract, you're not breaking any rules.
I will leave one of my attendants with you in case you need to reach out to me or have questions answered while you recover or your friends recover. I'll be back. I will be making arrangements for us to get a tour of the city. And she swims away, somewhat excitedly, but clearly kind of like in kind of shock that so much is happening so quickly. One of her attendants, a very young mermaid, maybe about 17, 18, comes around and offers you all what looks to be the equivalent of like compressed crab cakes.
Oh,
Like instead of like a meatball, it's a crab meatball.
That's cute.
On like a plate of like different underwater fruits and foods.
You know, all this healing has made me absolutely starving. I am eager to taste all of that.
Do you just shove it in the like air bubble to eat?
Yeah, you can put it in the air bubble and eat it. Air
Keeps
bubble
it
is
pretty moist.
Salty.
Little salty, yeah.
very salty. Yeah. Um, let's see. She says, she kind of points to like an aioli like dip that you can have.
Fancy.
It's very spicy. Be careful. Only not many surface dwellers can handle the spice.
I mean, I won a contest with some firewater kind of earlier today. I probably don't have any taste buds anymore, so I'm sure I'm fine.
Bring it, Azrael.
Do you
Bring
even
it.
taste?
Do you taste it?
I'm kind of looking around. Do I see our boss guy? Because I actually do want to.
He actually, I was just about to
Confer.
say he is stirring.
Okay.
And he's kind of like grabbing at the kelp because he's kind of somewhat restrained by it.
He seems like kind of a serious guy. I feel like he'd have some qualms about us just fucking off for a while.
Mhm.
Also being restrained underwater.
Right.
With
Terrifying.
a starfish on his face.
With a, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a lot going
He's
on.
like pulling it off and he's like looking around like someone getting out of surgery. His eyes dilated from beneath his mask.
Sir, how do you fare?
Actually, he would have taken off his mask. You got to see his face.
Oh, what does he look like?
He is horrifyingly scarred. It looks like his it looks like burns, but it's like someone had pushed his face in a fire, but there's just a lumping of welts over every part of his face. Nothing was spared except for maybe his forehead line. But yeah, his mouth is a distorted, kind of broken mess. It's like a Deadpool. Yeah.
Does he have eyes?
He has eyes. Yeah, his eyes are something you guys have seen through his mask many times. They're untouched, but they have kind of the melted kind of element on the edge of his eyes there, as he immediately grabs the mask and slams it on to his face.
Shameless side plug. We did a horror photo shoot as Cutting Edge Cosplay, and that included Freddy Krueger with a partially burned face look. If anyone's interested, check it out.
Check that out.
Bunny
Did
looks
such
so
a good
scary.
job.
She did such a good job.
Yes,
Nice.
somehow
Hello.
it was like it was amazing. Yeah.
Sir, how do you fare?
Where am I? What is this place? And what has happened?
A lot is
You're
happened.
alive, sir.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, I imagine.
Absolutely. And a mermaid.
You know, we
But
did
she's
some
still
stuff
there.
too.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, I said us, and I was trying to give her some credit just because she did bring us into her town.
Wait, we are in where
Her
are we?
town, her village. It's a kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Her little pueblo.
It's so small.
know,
It's not a
Princess.
It's like the lost city of Atlantis down here.
Of House Falesh under Queen Roshana, ring a bell at all?
I've heard many things of the underwater realm and how difficult it is to survive for us surface dwellers.
Well, we are welcome guests.
I guess that
For now.
there's a
There might be a
component
little
of
hitch in
two
that.
of you being underwater dwelling beings might have helped.
And some other stuff, but yeah.
All right, speak it to me plainly.
Well, they're trying to recruit us to maybe defeat an ancient large creature thing.
Ancient large creature thing.
We think it could
Stay-
help
stay
form an
to get some
alliance between
status.
your houses.
Yeah.
Something
That
about
is
them.
something no surface dweller has.
Oh, they had a prophecy that I would walk in and slay this beast for them.
You've got a prophecy already? We've been here how long?
Long
Well,
enough.
I mean, we didn't potentially like accidentally almost kill some children or anything. So we're going good so far.
Yeah. It's an improvement from last
The
time.
bar is low and you brought a shovel, Azrael.
Are you all
What?
right? You're doing okay? I mean, that was a lot with your brother back there.
Yes.
Yeah, you were kind of out of
My
it for a
brother.
bit. We're not trying to make him glitch out or anything. He's fine.
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay. I'm just start stuffing my face with like the curly crab.
As I elbow her, like,
What?
well, ixnay on the other brie.
What do
It's
you
fine.
remember?
It's fine. I remembered it all. Darius Graves came out of exile, it seems. Are you all right? And he kind of looks to each of you. I remember you were all harmed in some way.
We're all
Not that,
hunky dory.
I mean, not that it was a surprise, that was the job title, but I believe it or not, I do care. So, with that in mind, are you going to take this opportunity to live up to a prophecy? And if so, what else can we use to our benefit?
We wanted to run it by you first because our obligation was to you first, and we did bring you into this crazy extra world.
Your loyalty is increasingly noted, Parker.
I mean, his brother sort of forced this situation upon us, but we did save the dwarf friend that you seemed to trust so well.
That is going to be the even greater alliance, I think. As soon as he wakes, I'll see if I can remind him that should his house be intact when we get back, there will be a sense of debt, thanks to you all, to be paid. You were wise to save him. He's a good one.
We got his ears back on too.
Who is he?
Who is he? He's
How
one
is
of the gang leaders.
Wow, that's a title.
Oh.
Is there more detail?
I do not wish to speak on the man's behalf while he's unconscious here, should he wake and find us in a matter of gossip.
We don't get
Perhaps
to
in a
share
more
the tea.
private settings. And he kind of looks over to the acolyte as well. That's kind of just there holding out hors d'oeuvres, kind of suspiciously. If it's poison, then it's poison. And he kind of takes.
He's like, thank God.
That's a whole mood.
I mean, why would they heal us just to poison us? That seems kind of silly. I mean, unless it's for a particular like sacrifice or something. But
Mifa's like, wait, what? Oh shit. There happens to be a couple ritual sacrifices where we need to be in perfect health. Crap.
There's a lot going on here. Something about eating their mates, prophecy, poison.
Oh my gosh, what are these things actually made of? Are they partially their mates?
Oh, we're eating their mates?
Oh,
maybe.
no.
That's so nice of them to
Meaty,
share.
they're meaty mates.
So generous.
Meaty mates. Like it's like a delivery service.
No. What?
Meaty mates to go.
The sausage king strikes again.
Oh God. The sausage king.
They just like ride on those little seahorses to deliver their little food.
Yeah, this is DoorDash.
And their little pouches.
DoorDash.
Door splash.
Door splash, there you go.
Oh wow.
He like spits out the food as soon as you guys start talking. Like he was willing to eat it if it was poison. At this point, it's possibly the mates of these people. He's like, I can't.
He's got lines, guys.
Can I have an understanding of what this creature's abilities, its purpose? What is this creature that you have to fight?
They were kind of limited on the details.
Mifa, don't you
lives in
have
a
some of
cave.
this in like your like child bedtime stories or anything growing up?
Yeah, think way back.
Unfortunately, I've lost a lot of memories from back
All the
then.
ragers. Sorry, that was bad.
I can't express my gratitude deep enough for you all, but we'll temper that statement by saying we're not out of it yet. We are in an unknown place with unknown politics, unknown obligations, and a very specific, possibly religious hierarchy, hopefully in favor of Mifa's devotion. But I'm not sure it's so black and white.
Yeah, we
Should
definitely
we
have
proceed
to
with the
learn
prophecy?
more.
I mean, we have no choice, do we? It seems that they are convinced by what? Why are they convinced about this prophecy? What is it about it that strikes so resonantly? Is it the fact that you've come from the surface, that you have some quality about you?
I mean, obviously Mifa's blessed, so.
Yeah, well, we all knew that. But apparently I was blessed a little harder than I had
Blessed so hard the other night.
Blessed too
so
hard.
And they view me as the warrior of Delvia that has come from above. And
the
the
acolyte speaks up and says, "It is about a warrior who is of two worlds and is known as the unerring fighter, the one who does not miss."
Yeah, that too.
He looks over at her and says, "Thank you for explaining that. And you are?" "I'm in service, a handmaiden to the princess who brought you here." "A princess brought us here?"
We didn't know she was a princess. It was just our mermaid friend that you warned us in the little, our little grotto area of our sleeping quarters.
Also, didn't I say that we were brought here by a princess, or did I neglect that little detail? Or did you just not believe me?
I thought you were drunk, Azrael. I'm going to be honest.
When am I not?
You're like, they have alcohol here?
You're just
No,
like, yeah, fair.
The handmaiden says, "If you would like, I can bring alcohol." Yes.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I'm still breathing fumes from that like dwarf leg
in the air bubble. You're just
getting progressively
your eyes
stronger.
are red.
Oh no.
Plus, I still have about a half a bottle of that super fancy alcohol too. But now I have a fancy flask with some weird shit in it and some other stuff. Yeah, we're good.
He's concerned about the food being poisoned.
No, just don't breathe in my bubble. We're fine.
Don't breathe in my bubble. That's such an introvert thing to say.
Stealing it.
Yeah.
Don't breathe
Stealing
in
my
bubble. The fumes of my introvert bubble could destroy you right now. That's the functional alcoholism at its finest, right? Weren't we sponsored earlier? All right. Well, I suppose we should gather as much knowledge on this circumstance as possible, and I will see if I can leverage with the princess a deeper arrangement, a connection, something that could be a bit more material for us, because this would be the first alliance of its kind in some time, to my knowledge. I don't believe any other house has access to connection to the royal family of the drowned city itself. You've done well.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we have. Thanks.
Yes. Is there anything else? Any questions before we
Has
pave our
anyone
way?
checked on the dwarf guy? Because if you're waking up, then he's maybe
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
Becoming conscious.
We go swim over to our dwarf friend.
He is still unconscious.
Damn.
His wounds were very severe.
Are they looking better?
They're looking better. His ears have been grafted back on.
Yay!
Poultices around and inside the ear canal. And lots of strange little buggy heads having clamped on to the flesh.
He'll probably consider them like jewelry pieces. Maybe.
Think of it as like multiple piercings.
Fashion statement.
Let's just hope we're not pierced any more than we already are or have been in the last several hours. Parker, how did you get here? Are you?
Oh,
remember
I followed the mermaid as well.
Ah, I see. Do a deception check.
Oh boy.
I was there the whole time, I swear.
Yeah, just showed up in a blink of an eye.
21.
Nice.
Ooh.
He kind of looks at you and kind of goes, "You were very, very quick to return to us after the separation and battle. Well, I suppose I should give you these now." And he pulls out 4 stones and hands them to you each. And each stone is a different color. Red for Rargur, blue for Mifa, purplish tint for Lazuli. And Azrael, what is your color?
Green.
Green. He says, "These, I've held on to them long enough time. They're luck stones. If you type in luck stone in D&D Beyond, you'll get a breakdown of what it does. It definitely is a very good, uncommon item. Very, very, very strong, very powerful. It gives +1 to all your saves and ability checks, which is really good. And that includes your initiative. So +1 to initiative, +1 to every skill you have, and a +1 to your saving throws. And I think it'll input that once you attune, which you can do so right away with for now.
Thank you.
Cursed luck stone? Stone of good luck.
Stone of good luck, yeah. There you go.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Nice.
Parentheses luck stone, yeah. This was something that I'd held on to. A family item to not help my family, but considering what we have forged here seems as close as I get. I will take it. You
Thank you, sir.
I'm still your boss, obviously, but there's just a sense of you've proven yourselves in a way that I've never seen.
I'm still your boss.
Yeah, don't get too comfortable with me. Don't be telling me your personal problems. I will pay you enough to indulge in what you indulge in, especially you, Azrael.
Thanks. Does that mean I'm getting paid more than you guys?
Just to indulge more than us.
Just more to make sure that his fear at this point is you'll stop working if you're sober. That you are like contingent on your constant imbibing to function.
Buzz.
Yeah, if you don't have the buzz, you become ineffectual in many aspects. Well, as a child, I studied the mythos of certain monsters obsessively. So if we can find out more about this creature, I can tell you its weaknesses, help us develop a strategy for your championship fight, which I'm sure titillates and breeds some level of anxiety in each of you, some more than others.
We were granted access to the city. Maybe we can find a library and do some research.
well do you think books fare underwater, Lazuli?
Didn't say books.
Interesting. I wonder how they kept their historical records here.
I'm not sure. Maybe carvings. I imagine that would stand the test of time.
The handmaiden kind of giggles and says, "That's the really old way."
I mean, if they have squid ink tattoos, maybe that's how.
True.
Yes, we have squid ink and skin.
There you go.
Tattoos.
There you go.
I can
So we've
appreciate
got
that.
Maui down here somewhere that tells stories on their back.
That's so metal.
Uh-huh.
Yes, the scribes offer their livelihoods being living books.
Perfect.
So when
To
they
the-
die, do we just like mummify their bodies and like post them up places so we don't lose history?
As much as is allowed, but the living flesh is much more useful. The dead has to be preserved in special chambers.
Is there anywhere else you recommend we go other than the library? You know this place better than us.
Oh yes, well as I know the lowborn areas more, as that is where I hail from. I was very lucky to get this job with the princess. There's the gladiator pits. There is the Mage Academy. There's the Druid Grove.
Underwater druids, huh?
Yes, they tend to the kelp forests here.
Interesting. Azrael might find those kelp forests interesting.
Yeah, I'm interested in the kelp forests and the gladiator pits. You guys can do the weird wizardy things. I'm not interested in that.
Weird wizardy things.
Is there anyone we should talk to? Do you know anybody who like tends any of these places?
As I said, I am simply a handmaiden, but perhaps the princess, when she returns, can be of better service.
I mean, every place has its not royalty. Pretend I said that, but like in words that make sense.
I've literally said that
Translating.
exact sentence to my buddy Kyle. And that is so funny because he quotes that to me all the time. But he makes fun of me that I've said that. I think I was pretty drunk though. Anyway, do a persuasion check.
16.
The Temple of Delvia is a very important place to us. They're the different folk of different types, classes, I guess you could say, intermingle freely. Delvia is a mother of us all.
I could use some time with the mother.
She would welcome you. You're going to help us. Our wealth will come from your victory, champion. Wealth? Cough, Sir Graves. Yes, the creature has made its nest in the mithril mines. Mithril mines. Well, I will look forward to discussing the details of this mithril liberation.
Yeah, I think they mentioned that earlier.
It was like
an
talking about underwater dragon essentially protecting its hoard.
That's what it sounds like, yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
God damn it.
What, you don't like?
Just punch it, Azrael.
This is your line.
You just bop
This
it
is
on
your
the nose
line.
and it
Mifa's gonna end up forming an alliance with it so they can just like start throwing all the riches off to some Delvia thing.
Delvia thing. Oh.
You'll find that
Excuse me?
not all of the riches are devoted to Delvia. There is a yearly amount, and should we fail to meet that, a calamity happens. We have, thankfully, most recently accomplished our goal of the new year. The new year started.
I have a question. So, if we defeat this monster and collect the money back, do we have to calculate how much was supposed to be the yearly amount given for however long that you guys have been doing this and make sure to leave that there? Or is it kind of like pulling a coin back out of a wishing well? Like, how does that work?
What's a wishing well? And at that point, Saracen kind of just gently kind of pats Azrael and says, I think, I think we should just think a bit more about the nature of these people and invest our interest in the mind, the veins of the mind. Let them have the treasure.
Yeah, I think I was getting a little light on my alcohol consumption and I wasn't thinking clearly.
Can we get my party drinks for the road?
Drinks for the road.
Road sodies.
Oh, gosh.
What? Oh my god. What are those?
Aw, charm.
Through daiquiris. For the pouch.
On the go mimosas. Yeah.
Just fill the bubble, and then you have to just, if you want air, get through it.
They're like holding Azrael upside down because she's light. She's like weightless underwater.
Oh, it's like a keg stand.
It's a keg stand with an underwater bubble filled
stand.
with alcohol. just chugging the bubbles like oxygen or alcohol content.
Oh
my god.
This sounds great.
And I think this is where 8:30 perfect ending because I do have to celebrate my dad's birthday tonight. So
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Birthday.
So yeah, thank you guys for making time. And I know that we had some scheduling issues with our next week's session. I propose to you guys to look at your calendars and find, if you can, another night like a Wednesday or Thursday if possible, or if that doesn't work, we can just go a whole month without playing, which I'm okay with because I'd rather someone be included than excluded innately, because that is rough. But if you guys can find another night during the week, we can work something out. We can get that. But for chat, just to confirm, we're discussing the likelihood of not playing the fall, not for every other week. So the next time you'll see us in 2 weeks, we'll probably pick a different day that week, ideally, but we'll see. So only because it's hard enough to remember all of the details, but you do a good job. And I feel like a month would destroy us, especially I run different games in that time. And so, yeah, but we'll see. So, yeah. Did you guys have fun? In Mermaid Land?
Yeah.
Yeah, this little town, it's fine.
This little village. The fact that like the Goliath comes from like probably a very small village and just calls everything that she sees a village. Like she looks at a mansion. That's a nice house. Like, what?
Oh, cute cottage.
Yeah.
I like your shack.
I like your shack. Yeah. Yes, please check out our YouTube. We've been uploading. We're trying to catch up. It is the School for Initiative, currently YouTube. We're going to try to rebrand everything under Old World Charm soon, so we'll see that out. Join our Discord. Link will be put in chat any moment here. We love having you guys. I saw some new faces or new names pop in. Love having you guys. And I will pass on the happy birthday wishes. He's getting old, so he might understand, The internet says happy birthday, Pops.
Oh gosh.
No, I'm kidding.
The computers are talking.
He knows more about computers than I do. He was the director of a cybersecurity thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So I was like, I grew up and I was like, could you hack into the Pentagon? He's like, I absolutely could. Would I? No. He's like, fastest way to get on the list.
No kidding.
Right.
Only if you get cut.
Oh yeah. There's like all these stories of like, what is it like? I don't know if these are urban myths, but like if you can hack into certain government things, then you can get a job there. But I think that's just an urban myth. I'm pretty sure it's just intimidating people show up at your house and are like, so yeah, we're taking your computer now. All right. Happy birthday to you, and you're sad. I know what you mean. But my depression also appreciates a yearly celebration as well. Why are you blowing out those candles? Because I'm sad. So, all right.
I didn't
Well,
want them to dance with
Extinguish
happiness
the
like they
light.
were.
extinguish
Yeah.
the light of my
Oh
heart.
gosh.
All right, chat. Let's see. Chat. Let's all cheers to
Your dad, obviously.
Oh, yeah, let's cheers. Yeah, let's cheers to Pops. Let's
Obviously.
see. And yeah, and to the amazing role play session we just had. Holy crap, you guys can pick up your characters after 2 weeks like you wear the skin. I don't know, it's incredible. That's rare. So I hope you guys know.
Tattooed skin.
Oh god. What?
Squid ink tattoos.
The squid ink tattooed
Squid ink tattoos.
skin.
Let's all get squid ink tattoos.
I'll do
We
it.
totally should.
Oh my god, matching D&D tattoos. Anyway, let's go.
Go.
Go.